Hey, it's Rhianna. Welcome back to my channel and another Trying to Conceive update. Alright, it is time for a weekly update with the whole Trying to Conceive thing. We are still in cycle 2. We are now on day 31. No, I'm not pregnant. My period still just hasn't come, and I am like keeping track of my temps and everything, so I know that I'm not actually pregnant because I probably didn't ovulate. My last update was day 19, so it's been 10, 11, 12. It's been like 12 days since my last update. I told y'all in the last video that I switched, or that I started taking prenatals. I actually switched. I was taking pills from Walmart, and now I'm taking these gummies because they made me sick. I can't remember what night it was. It was like 4 days in, and I had taken my prenatal vitamins, and immediately, well, not immediately, but within like 15 minutes, I thought I was gonna throw up, and I went to the bathroom, and it was not fun. So yeah, that night I decided that I'm not doing those pills anymore. I'm not gonna let myself be sick like that. It's just, no, I will eat these gummies with their 4 carbs per 2 gummies, right? 2 gummies have 4 carbs, so that sucks, but it's the lowest that I've seen. I got a bunch of recommendations from y'all on Instagram and stuff like that about all these different, you know, other brands. Smarty Pants was one, and while I really liked the brand because of what it offered, unfortunately it was the highest in carbs, and because of keto, I just can't do, like, these were like double-digit carbs, and I just can't do that. So I'm taking these. I don't seem to have any issues with them. They do have the DHA or whatever that you want in them, the fish, whatever the fish stuff. Got the folic acid. I mean, they look pretty good for everything that I read up. It doesn't have iron, I believe, is what it's missing, but I did a bunch of research, and I found that as long as you're eating enough iron, that you don't really need a supplement necessarily. And I feel like with keto and all the red meat that I eat, I'm probably getting enough iron. But I mean, this is just prenatal. So if I get pregnant, my doctor says I need to take an iron supplement or I need to change my prenatals, I will. So I said at the beginning of the video that I don't think that I ovulated. I didn't have any ovulation symptoms. We've talked in the past in other videos about how I get facial flushing and a couple other things happen whenever I'm ovulating. I did not experience that this cycle. I had a little bit of it in my, like, during, I talked about it in my last update, but it didn't last. Like the previous cycle, it lasted for about a week, and this time it was like 1 day and went away. And I think it might have been whenever my body looked like it ramped up, like it was going to ovulate, because my temp spiked, but then I didn't, and it can be, I mean, like my temps immediately crashed. And so yeah, I didn't have any ovulation symptoms. I still haven't had any ovulation symptoms. The only symptoms I have had is some mild cramping twice, followed by very super light pink when I wiped, associating with those 2 episodes of cramping, but nothing else has happened. So Jonathan's supplements that he picked out for himself and that he has been taking every day seem to be helping on his end. So I've mentioned before that, like, we don't really talk about his side of it because I don't feel like it's right for me to talk about it. One of the things that we wanted was to be able to continue with the, like, repetitiveness of, like, trying to conceive, especially since this cycle has been all over the place. And my temps have been all over the place. We've kind of just been, like, keeping up with the regular schedule, if you know what I mean. And his supplements have been seeming to help with that, if you catch my drift. Speaking of supplements, I am still taking the myo and the D supplements. I am on the full dose, and that's probably the reason why my temps have been all over the place, is because it looks like I did start taking those at the beginning of this cycle, and it looks like they are attempting to regulate my cycle. So my temps, I'll show you, here's my graph so far for this month, and as you can see, like I had a spike here, but then it crashed. And then I had a spike here and it crashed. I think this actually was fever. I had a low grade fever because I got that spider bite. So I think that was actually just from that and not an actual spike, because if you look at the smooth view, where they take out extreme highs and extreme lows, you can see that it's actually just low. So, but I did reach out to the Obvious Sense community, and I posted about my temps and how they're just like all over the place compared to previous months where it was just kind of like this, and then I spiked really high and I stayed high until my period. This time it's like been like a, what is it called when it's a earthquake, like a Richter a Richter scale or whatever. I did reach out to the community, and I got some reassurance that when they started taking these supplements, they experienced the same thing. Their first cycle was good. Their second cycle lasted 2 cycles long and was literally, their temps were all over the place. And their fourth cycle, it had evened out. So I'm hoping that that's what's happening with me. And I already mentioned the last thing. I have a little bullet point that I want to go over with y'all. And the last thing was just talking about the fever spike. So it looks like I covered everything. This was a real quick weekly update with my trying to conceive journey. If you're interested in following along, make sure you subscribe. There's all kinds of interesting stuff on my channel besides trying to conceive. Me and my husband are doing keto, so we have like weight loss, updates and stuff like that. I do Tasty Tuesday, where I do a new recipe almost every week and we try it out and see how it goes. And I just also do daily vlogs. So that's all that good stuff. But anyways, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. I know it's like not actually as many as we have. Hey, it's Rhianna and Jonathan. Welcome back to my channel and another episode of Weight Loss Wednesday.
Like 6 months.